This presentation will explore the Higher Education Act of 1965, a pivotal act that functions as the framework for higher education operations. Institutional offices that operate primarily with the act in mind are admissions, financial aid, veteran affairs, and many more. Throughout this presentation, the Higher Education Act of 1965 will be referred to as the HEA. The act was signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson on November 8, 1965, at his alma mater, Southwest Texas State College, now Texas State University. To the left of the slide, you can see a photograph from this historic day. During President Johnson's vice presidency, he presented his agenda to President John F. Kennedy. President Johnson assumed his role as president following JFK's assassination in 1963, then successfully became president during the presidential election. The HEA was a part of Johnson's Great Society agenda, which included measures on disease, healthcare, poverty, and education. The act was enacted during a unique period in American history following the end of World War II and in the midst of the Civil Rights Movement. The HEA can be considered the bones of higher education operations, having established federal financial aid, setting institutional accreditation standards, and most importantly, supporting post-secondary degree attainment to the diverse students in the United States. Without the Act, multiple key components of higher education would not exist, including minority serving institution support, federal financial aid, and support for disadvantaged students. The text defines diversity as the existence of different groups of people, regardless of race, ethnicity, sexual orientation within a society. While DEI initiatives are fairly recent in post-secondary settings, the Act has advocated for diversity since it was enacted. The HEA embodies the pursuit of diversity evidenced by federal programs such as TRIO, support of HBCUs and HSIs, and accessibility to financial aid, which grants the opportunity to a diverse set of students. One of the greatest criticisms of the Act today is post-secondary institutions taking advantage of federal aid being used by students. While some colleges and universities work to keep post-secondary education as affordable as possible, many have abused federal aid for profit. An example of the criticism would be the most recent case with the 568 cartel. Multiple institutions have agreed to settle in an antitrust lawsuit that alleged universities colluded together in inflating tuition specifically for students receiving federal aid. The settlement comes at a hefty price tag totaling over $166 million. The HEA will continue to function as the framework for post-secondary education, continuing to be amended as the higher education sphere evolves. Here are the references that were used throughout this presentation. Thank you for watching this presentation, and I hope that you learned a lot about the Higher Education Act of 1965.